Hey guys, welcome to Tabletop Baseball. I'm Earl Shamblin, and we also have Tenacious Earl on the channel. He does a lot of videos also. He's got a couple leagues going, one with History Maker Baseball, one with Stratomatic. I kind of dabble a little bit in everything. Maybe not everything, but a variety of things. And right now I want to talk about the Apba basic game. I've been doing a lot of thinking on how to, since Apba's not going to do it, they're not going to come out with something in between the basic game and the master game. I'm trying to, come up with stuff on my own. I think there's probably a lot of other guys out there that do the same thing. I've incorporated the master game stealing. Now I want to look at the lefty-righty splits. How to bring that into the master game, or the basic game, from the master game. Because now most of their sets that you buy will have the master symbols on them. So what I've come up with is this. Now if you look at a card, you'll notice, let me get a little pointer here. Down here is the lefty-righty splits. Try to hold it up. So here's David Eckstein. It's 2002 Angels. Versus lefties, he's +2, which means he's a little bit better versus a left-hander. He's -3 versus right-handers. So he's a little bit worse versus a right-hander. So what I'm looking at here is, let's say a guy is +7 to +11. Doesn't matter what side. Let's say he has a +7 to 11 over here versus lefties. If the left-hander is an A pitcher, he will drop to a B. If his rating, again, is anywhere from +7 to +11, which it's not, so no effect. He's a +2. Now if the guy is +12 or more versus whatever side the pitcher's pitching, and he's an A pitcher, it'll drop him to a C. Obviously, he still can get a hit. It's going to reduce the chances, but he can still get a hit. Now, if we go the opposite direction, -7 to -11, whatever side it is, all sevens become ground balls, outs. If he's a righty, it's a ground ball to short. If he's a lefty, it's a ground ball to second. There's a runner on first, it's a double play. Okay. If there's a runner on second and there's one out, let's say, and it's a lefty, hits it to second base, the runner on second moves to third. Common sense. Now if he's a -12 or more, 12 or more, all sevens still come into effect, and 8s become strikeouts. There's not going to be that many guys that are going to fall into this category. That's why I made the numbers the way I did. And it kind of goes from there, as you can see. But the reason I started at 7 is because looking at the numbers, let's look here. Everything starts at 7 or more. Until you get down to C. If he's +8 or more, then the C goes to a D. On a D, obviously you can't go to an E, so you have to be negative. If you're worse versus that pitcher, from 9 to 11, versus a D pitcher, the batter's not as good. But if he's a 9 to 11 to the negative, the D will become a C. 12 or more, he becomes a B. Okay, so looking at let's just take the Angels lineup here. Let's see how many guys are actually going to fall into this category. Eckstein, nope. 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 Okay, Brad Fulmer, -14 versus left-handers. So if you have a lefty on the mound, he's going to fall into this minus down here. So he cannot hit lefties worth a flip. If it's a B pitcher and he's -8 or more, he's going to become an A. So if he's a B pitcher facing a left-handed B pitcher, the pitcher will be an A pitcher versus Brad Fulmer. So Molina, nothing. Kennedy, nope. Spezio, okay, so he falls in there barely. He's +7. So he's a better versus a lefty. So if you have a left-handed A pitcher, he's a +7. He falls into here. The A pitcher becomes a B. Okay, so two guys. Let's look at the bench. There's a -10 versus righties for Benji Gill. So really, like I said, you're not going to run into it very often, but it is a factor. The reason I started at 7 is because 7 seems like the tipping point. If you look at their numbers, there's not a lot. It goes up to 6 a lot. On a lot of guys, we'll have a 6. But then there seems like there's a big gap between the 6 and 7. So that's kind of why I started at 7. It seems like once you get past 6, there's kind of a bigger drop-off, if you will. That's just the way it feels like to me. Looking at all the teams, I got the printouts of the 2011 season. I was just kind of going through looking at every team. And you're looking at maybe, 2 to 3 guys per lineup. Sometimes more, sometimes less. There might only be 1 guy. Sometimes there might be 4. But I think this makes it brings a little more interest to me. Makes it a little more interesting. May adjust your lineup some. You may have a guy, like I said, like Brad Fulmer. If you got a lefty facing a left-hander, you got to consider, Brad Fulmer. Am I going to play him because he really stinks versus left-handers? I'm either going to bat him way down, like in the number 8 spot, or I might have, who's their backup first baseman, Sean Wooten. He's even on both sides, 1, -1. I might put Sean Wooten in the lineup instead, which is probably what they did in real life. But if you're playing basic Apba, Brad Fulmer, doesn't matter. I can put Brad Fulmer batting 3rd. Regular basic Apba, doesn't matter. You put this in there, all of a sudden, you got to think a little bit. So, I want to know what you guys think. Maybe, if you don't think there's enough effect on it, drop it down to a 6. Drop these down to a 6. Drop that to a 7. Drop that to an 8. If you want more effect. So anyway, that's all I got now. Just something real quick to throw out there. I want to get some feedback on it, see what you guys think. So that's it for now. Until next time, you guys take care and God bless.